Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the first ever SLBL Championship 2025 organized by Sri Lanka Basketball along with Mercantile Services Basketball Association for the first ever in the Sri Lankan basketball history, the SLBL 2025. Well, the first game for the evening will be Sri Lanka Army taking on David Peiris. That's going to be the third place game. So let's get on with the player's name and the numbers, and we call it the player introduction. So teams, be ready. All right, so let's start with Sri Lanka Army. So player of the game against Sri Lanka Police and one of the top scorers of the team and a national player, ladies and gentlemen, jersey number 4, Janit Kamage. One of the powerhouses in Asian basketball and also the player of the games against Bull in the first round and also the top scorer of the team, Pawan Gamage, playing on jersey 5. Jersey number 7, Prem Kumar Tenura, who was the player of the game against David Peiris. Jersey number 8, Tarindu Tasanka. Isuru Dilum playing tonight on jersey 9. Wearing number 10, Harshana Rajapaksa. Jersey number 12, Roshan Pinto. Another leading scorer of the team, number 23, Akshita Madhushan. Jersey number 24, Samira Nishanga. Jersey number 28, Upul Jairatna. And playing on jersey number 34, Prince Raj Pereira. And the captain of the team and the player of the game against Sri Lanka Air Force, number 77, Aloka. Moving on to David Peiris, caught a few top scorers of the team. Let's start with jersey number 0, Imad Hussain, one of the leading scorers of the team. And playing on jersey number 1, Kanesarasa Vipushan, the player of the game against Sri Lanka Army and one of the leading scorers of the team. Number 2, Azir Mohammed. Jersey number 6, Yao, one of the top scorers of the team. And playing on jersey number 8, the boy from Kurunegala, Nalaka Kumarasinghe. Jersey number 9, Hasita Samarasinghe. Another leading scorer of the team, jersey number 13, Sendhuran Devarajan. Jersey number 16, Ruben Karunagaran. Jersey number 15, Silaka Fernando. Playing on 28 tonight, Nawod Wakumbura. Jersey number 98, Rimzi Ahmad Yazim. Skipper and the leading scorer of the team, jersey number 12, Sajintaran Balakumaran. And David Peiris, coached by Mr. Hayas Harun and assistant coach Mr. Danushka Vijayasinghe, and Sri Lanka head coach M.A.P. Taranga and assistant coach Mr. K. Shira Lakshan. And also for tonight, can we also have the crew chief? Let's All right, before the final warm-up, I would also like to introduce the crew chief, Mr. Buddhika Kumadaperama, and umpire number 1 will be Mr. Ajit Kumara, along with umpire 2, Mr. Ravi Dodangoda. So those are the officials for tonight. And ladies and gentlemen, SLBL 2025, the first final coming up in 5 minutes.
Wrote it down and read it out, hoping it would save me. Too many times, my love, he makes me feel like nobody else. But my love, he doesn't love me, so I tell myself.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. You are joining with us for the third place encounter between Sri Lanka Army and David Peiris Sports Club in Sri Lanka Basketball League 2025.
Road to the finals.
Sri Lanka Army team. The Army team contains two brothers, Janit Gamage, Pawan Gamage, Pramukha Therwara, Tadu Dasanka, Isuru Dilum,
and
Harshan
also
Rajapaksha, Roshan Pinto,
going down to David Peiris
Samina
in the preliminary round,
and their big man Prince Raj Pereira alongside
Sri Lanka Army
their
winning that
captain
game.
Aloka
And Sri Lanka Police versus Army 72-83. Sri Lanka Army versus Colombo BC 45-91. And Colombo Bulls versus Sri Lanka Army, a narrow call 71-80. And also Colombo Bulls, Sri Lanka Army 75.
Nalaka Kumara Singha, Hasita Samara Singha, and their captain Sajitram Balakumaran, Senturan Tevarajan, Ruben Karunaran, Selaka Fernando, Nawod Wakubura, Rimsi Ahmed, and they are coached by Hayas Aruz. These images are brought to you by POTV and PO Sports. These two teams battled really hard during yesterday's final, but unfortunately ended up on the losing end, which gives them another opportunity to compete in Sri Lanka Basketball League 2025 for the third place. If we look at their records to the semi-final stage, Sri Lanka Army managed to win 3 games out of 5 in their group stage, and they managed to win against Sri Lanka Air Force team by 74 points to 51, and they managed to win against Sri Lanka Police team 83 points to 72, and they also managed to beat the strong Colombo Bulls team during the preliminary round by 80 points to 71. Pawan Gamage has been exceptional during the group stage as well as the semi-final, even though they lost to Colombo Bulls team by 75.64. Pawan Gamage managed to score 21 points for himself, which came along 31, 13, and another 20-point game during the preliminary round. He was heavily supported by his brother, Janit Gamage, who has been exceptional on the offensive floor. If we look at the David Peiris Sports Club, they managed to win against Sri Lanka Air Force during the preliminary round, which gave them the opportunity to compete against Colombo BC, who was the group champs, in the semi-finals. But unfortunately, they lost that encounter for 104 points to 74 points. Their big man, the shooting post player, Vipushan, has been exceptional throughout this tournament. He came up with 17 points in the semi-finals, and he had this highest scoring game during the encounter with Sri Lanka Air Force, where he scored 20 points. And on the other end, players like Imad, Senturan, and Asir has been contributing to their team in terms of winning. We are excited to see what's the encounter between these two teams gonna be like today. And if you are yet to visit us at Royal College Indoor Auditorium, we are encouraging you to come enjoy this occasion. This is the first league tournament happening in 4 years. The initiative taken by Mercantile Services Basketball Association. We have the finals match scheduled at 6 p.m. between Colombo Bulls and Colombo BC. Before that, we will get into the third place action between the David Peiris Sports Club versus Sri Lanka Army. We have 1 minute remaining for the tip-off today. And if we look at these two teams going head-to-head for the third place in Sri Lanka Basketball League, you can see with the performance these two teams has during the preliminary round, Sri Lanka Army team is the heavy favorites to win this encounter. But as we were commentating yesterday, you can't keep out the David Peiris Sports Club. They have enough talent to compete and even take it all the way. More importantly, they are coached by one of the experienced coaches, Coach Haya Sarus. He has been in the circuit for more than 2 decades, and he has the winning records under his belt. We are all set for the tip-off of this encounter. I'm your host, Dilka Sirimana, and I'm with my colleague Mafas Mohedin. to bring the updates in this encounter between Sri Lanka Army and David Peiris Sports Club. With the tip off, the ball goes to David Peiris Sports Club. That was a nice drive and pass by Imad. Balls remains with the David Peiris territory. We have Imad, Senturan, Selaka, Shao and Sajitran on the floor for the David Peiris team. Akshita with his first 3-point attempt, and he starts the scoring for Sri Lanka Army. Imad drives in, kicks out to Sajitran. Senturan gets the ball, but he got blocked that time. Unfortunately, the rebound was not good. Pass comes back to Senturan, he reloads. Still the same result. Yeah, Harshana with the rebound, pass it to Janit. Janit pass it to Akshita again. He misses the second attempt. Harshana drives in, kicks out to Pawan for the first 3-point attempt in this match. Akshita with a nice rebound. He puts up the shot, but he couldn't make it. Janit gets the ball, gives it to Harshana in the corner. He airballs it, unfortunately. Imad gets the ball, drives in. The long pass to Selaka. It was not good. Both teams are neck to neck in this game. Unfortunately, David Peiris' team had 2 turnovers. Ball goes back to Akshita. Pawan gets the ball on top of the key. He fakes out, drives from the right side, kicks to Akshita again. For the long 3-pointer. He's 1 for 3 in the first 2 minutes of this game. Good evening, Mafas. Welcome to the third place action.
Good evening, Dilka.
Selaka with a long 3-point attempt. He misses out. Aloka gets his rebound. This time Janit drives in and gives the ball back to Aloka. Except for the 3-pointer made by Akshita. We are still yet to start the scoring until right now. Sajitran drives in from left hand and makes the easy layup. Long pass to Akshita on the corner. Akshita drives in, kicks out to Harshana. Harshana gets the ball to Janit this time. And Janit makes a 3-pointer. Extending their lead for 4 points. It's 6 points versus 2. Madhi the drive. Give it to Shao. Shao drives in, puts up. And that'll be an and one. He'll be heading into the free throw line for the extra point. Mavas, what do you think about these two teams competing against each other? They have been battling really hard during yesterday's semi-final, and especially Sri Lanka Army team came close to booking their ticket in the final round, but unfortunately they didn't. And I feel David Peiris' team has a strong side, that strong roster that they can give a good fight to Sri Lanka Army.
Thank you, Dilka. These teams have been playing their 7th game in the last 10 days. So I think both teams will feel fatigued right now. More than that, losing a semi-final and knowing you are not going to play for the championship game always hurts a lot. So to pull up your socks for a third and fourth place playoff is always tough. But I think both teams would settle in this first quarter, and then they would realize that finishing third is not that bad. All 6 teams have been really good, have competed really well. We have seen some good basketball, a lot of improvement also to be made by these teams. As you said, David Peiris has been a really good side, young side. So they will look to push this Army side, who would be disappointed after the loss last night. They pushed the Bulls almost to the last second. So I think it's going to be an even contest today.
Yes, absolutely, Mafaz. I agree with you. That time, Seleka pump fakes and try to makes the fade away. Even though the shot is not good, he goes into the free throw line for two attempts. He misses the first free throw. Both teams are exceptional at playing in a faster pace. Pramuka comes back into the game and tries for a three-point attempt. That time he missed out. Bulls remain with the Sri Lanka Army territory. We can see Asir coming in as a substitution for Seleka. Coach Hayas Harus is making his move to make sure that they are having their full offensive attack in this game by using Sajidran, Asir and Imad as the backcourt. Aloka with the ball. Gives it out to Pramuka. Pramuka fakes in. Tries the mid-ranger. It's on top of the board. No good. Janit gets the rebound. Puts up. The ball remains with Aloka that time. It was a nice rebound and put back by the captain of Sri Lanka Army. The mid-range jumper by Asir. Mavas, it appears that David Peiris is playing a zone defense. They are playing more of 1-2-2 kind of a defense rather than switching it to a traditional man-to-man at this point.
Yes, Delka, that's mainly to do with the two brothers, Pawan and Janit, who have been using those lanes to good effect and then looking for the bigs under. Going man-to-man against those two playmakers would be really tough, and also it might put them in foul trouble, just as we saw the Bulls, which happened last evening. I think Coach Hayas Harun has felt that and has decided to go with a zone defense to start with, but they should be careful because Army is a very good team in scoring second chance points. So if they don't block and go for those rebounds, they will actually have to pay for it.
Yes, and the other part is they have enough shooters to also be available on the floor at any given time. They have Harshana, Pramuka and Aksita, who are good three-point shooters. They showed up when it matters the most during the preliminary round as well as the semi-final. And with those adjustments, I think it will be an exciting game. On our way, we are entering the halfway mark of the first quarter. Aloka gets the ball, puts up over Shao. Aksita with the rebound. Mid-range jumper is no good. Asir takes the ball, drives in from left. He puts up the layup. Unfortunately, it rims out, and the ball is with Sri Lanka Army. That was a quick pass by Janit to Pawan. He unable to connect this time. And a close steal from Janit. He has been anticipating that the ball will receive to Imad at that point. Asir kicks out to Saditran. Rolls out from the hand of Aloka that time. The ball remains with David Peiris. Asir drives in from right. Try to fake in. That time he collects the ball. Yeah, a few seconds remaining in the 24 shot clock. Akshita with the steal. Drives on the middle. Puts up the shot. And it's good. There goes the first timeout by the David Peiris Sports Club. Coach Hayas Harun thinks that they need to regroup, discuss about what needs to be improved and enter this game, because we have 3 minutes and 51 seconds remaining in the first quarter. Sri Lanka Army is already leading by 9 points. Yeah, joining with Sri Lanka Basketball League 2025, organized by MSBA. These images are brought to you by POTV and PO Sports. We want to invite you, come join us in this exciting event at Royal College Indoor Auditorium. You are currently witnessing the third place match between Sri Lanka Army and David Peiris Sports Club. We have the grand finale scheduled at 6 p.m. today between Colombo Basketball Club versus Colombo Bulls. As we are resuming from the timeout taken by the David Peiris team. Ball goes to Imad for a 2-point jumper. And he makes the shot that time. The lead is now 7 points. Janit drives in, kicks out to Pramukha. Pramukha drives in that time. Kicks out to Janit. More or less a loose ball, but ball was taken by Aloka. Gives it back to Pramukha for the one-leg 2-point attempt. Missed out. Saditran with the ball. Crosses over. Pass it to Imad. Imad drives in. And that was some exceptional footwork, but he couldn't make the basket that time. David Peiris still remains with their 1-2-2 defense. Aloka drives in, kicks out to Akshita for the 3-point attempt. He misses out. Pramukha with the nice tip-off. And the lead extended back to 9 points. Asir kicks out to Senturan. And that time a foul was called against number 77 Aloka. That will be a side ball for David Peiris team. You can see Isuru coming in for Akshita as a substitute. And the last call foul is the second personal for the captain of Sri Lanka Army. Isuru takes the ball and puts up the left hand layup for the 2-pointer. Asir drives in that time and draws the foul from Isuru. I was actually wondering why Vipushan has not entered the game yet, and here he is. He's a shooting big man. That's something rare to see in Sri Lanka, I would say. It's very common in the international level. And if I'm not mistaken, he's coming from Jaffna. And he has been playing really well in the Mercantile Services Basketball League.
Yeah, Dilka, he actually turned MVP at the last Mercantile League B division, where David Peiris' group was able to win. They went unbeaten in that league. And as you said, stretch bigs are always an asset to the team. They can play any position. And Vipushan is one of them. It was interesting to see why he came from the bench today. He usually starts every game. However, Coach Hayas might have had different ideas today. He opted to start with Centurion instead of Vipushan.
I think this might be a plan that he wants to remain. He wants to keep Vipushan for a longer period of the time in the game, because there is a good chance this game might go to the wire. Imadi the drive, pass it back to Centurion. Centurion puts up the three-pointer. He is yet to connect in this quarter. Janit with the ball. That time he tries out for a three-point attempt, misses out. Fortunately, Suru was there to take the rebound. Gives it back to Pramukha on top of the free throw line, and he makes a sweet jumper. We are under the last minute of this quarter. Ball goes to Vipushan. He attempts the three-point. I think David Peiris is heavily relying on their three-point shooting. It has been effective during the first few games, but today they are yet to connect in the same consistency that they are hoping for.
Yeah, they rely a lot on their shooting from outside and their fast-paced game, fast break points, but we haven't seen both of those today. But one thing we know is they never give up. Even if it's a 20-point deficit, they would always fight back. Even last evening, we saw them cutting down a huge margin to even the game, but the Colombo Basketball Club was too strong in the end. They had all the superstars playing in that side. So yes, Dilka, we would like to see some energy now from the David Peiris boys. We're coming up almost close to the end, and just like that, Vipushan connects one from out.
Yes, the big man comes up and connects his second three-point attempt that time. We are 10 seconds into the buzzer of the first quarter. Ball goes to Pramukha. Pramukha kicks out to Pawan. That was a nice pass and nice setup. Unfortunately, he missed out the ball. And with the buzzer, we are coming into the first quarter. Sri Lanka Army is leading 21 points to 11 points in this game. We are yet to see another. We have 3 quarters ahead of us in this game, and we will be going into a commercial break. Coming back with you on the second quarter updates.
වෙද මහත්තයා
මොකද
මේ ධර්මපාල මන්ත්‍රතුමා ඇවිල්ලා
මේ ගම ආරක්ෂා කරන එක මගේ වගකීම.
ගමේ ඉන්න කෙල්ලොත් ලස්සනයි.
ලස්සනම ගැන කියන සුන්දර කවියට ආසමම
මනහරි රුයින් දිලනා නාරි
අයියෙන්ම සාදුකාර දෙන්නේ වැඩියම පව් කරන මිනිස්සු.
සුදු ඇඳගත්තු මිනිහෙකුට ගමේ මිනිස්සු රැවටිලා.
හරි සාක්ෂියක් නැතුව උසාවියේදී මිනිස්සෙක් වැරදිකාරයෙක් කරන්නේ.
ඇත්තද බේලවල් කරනවා කියන්නේ? ඇත්තද බේලවල් කරනවා කියන්නේ?
විසල් මේ අහන්න. ඔයා මේ විභාගේ ලියන්න ඕනේ.
පටන් ගමුද?
මොල් අධ්‍යාපනයක් වැඩක් නෑවයි.
බද ඒකටම උඹ වග කියන්න ඕන.
ජීවිතය ගණිත සමීකරණයක් තරම් සරල නෑ. ඊට වඩා සංකීර්ණයි. සිහින සමීකරණයක් තරමටම සංකීර්ණයි.
ස්පෝර්ට්ස් ක්‍රීඩාව වෙනුවෙන්ම
අත්වැල ගිලිහෙන මල් කැකුළු විෂමාචාරීන්ගේ ගොදුරු බවට පත්වෙන දඩ බිමක
ඒ සම්බන්ධයෙන් මේ විදිහ දෙයක් වෙයි කියලා මං හිතුවේ නෑ.
මට ජීවත්වෙන්න ආසයි තාත්තේ.
ආයි මේවා ළමයිට විකුල්ලා වුණොත් එහෙම මං නරක ගෑණි කියන්නවා.
පිටින් ඇවිල්ලා නටන්න හදන්න එපා මැඩම්.
අපේ principal.
Welcome back, everyone. You are joining with us for the second quarter updates. In third place, encounter between Sri Lanka Army and David Peiris Sports Club in Sri Lanka Basketball League 2025. The tournament is organized by Mercantile Services Basketball Association. These images are brought to you by POTV and PO Sports. That was a rebound taken by Samira. Ball was given to Isuru. Isuru give. Arsenal drives in. And Samira managed to take the rebound and put the 2-point basket. And we have the senior player Nalaka joining in. I think this is the second time he has an appearance in this tournament. It's interesting to see that Coach Hayas is using him at this point. That was an easy layup which should have been putting into by Senturan. Enough space for Asi to drive in. He rolls off. Got a physical hit by Samira, but the other end, Aksita managed to put up the easy 2-pointer. The lead is currently 14 points. That time another turnover from the David Peiris Sports Club. Ball goes to Samira, stolen by Selaka that time. He recovers his mistake. Nalaka gets the ball, almost turned it over. Actually, that will be a turnover because the foul was committed by Nalaka. That's his first personal foul for the game. Suru gets the ball. Pawan asking for the ball. I think he has the advantage of driving against Selaka, which he does. Rolls off, kicks out to Isuru. Isuru with a wide open 3-point attempt. He missed out that time. Nalaka bringing the ball into the front court. Pass to Asir. Asir gives it to Senturan. And we push and we'll try for another 3-point attempt. I think David Peiris' team needs to settle down at this level. The lead is extending the minute by minute. They need to focus on their defense and also making sure that they are putting up the easy baskets. Samir with the nice rebound, but he couldn't make it. Ball remains with the Sri Lanka Army. Arshana gets the ball, attempted for a 3-pointer, and he makes it.
Yes, Dilka, coming into this game, my feeling was that David Peiris would come hard, take this third and fourth place playoff very seriously. However, they have not shown any kind of energy so far during this 13 minutes of play. However, the boys from Sri Lanka Army have come with a lot of intent to play today.
Sri Lanka Army team won the runner-up position during the last Senior National Basketball Championship, and they were the semi-finals during the Avon Cup, which happened in 2022. This group is playing together for a while now, and they know what each other's strengths are. That time, an exceptional drive by Isuru, but he couldn't finish. Selaka gets the ball on the other end for the open 2-pointer. Lead cuts down to 13 points. Coach Hayas Haroon is using different combinations in this game to see which combination will be effective the most, as he decided to keep Imad and Saditran on the bench and playing with three bigs, Centurion, Shao and Vipushan. Asir brings the ball, played exceptionally well during the semi-finals. Shao drives in, blocked by Samira. Ball kicks out to Selaka. He drives in with the fake, puts up. That time the foul was called against Samira. That was a fantastic attempt of blocking the shot, but unfortunately he ended up receiving the foul. And Imad coming in for Asir. That will be Samira's second personal foul. Selaka makes the first free throw. He rims out the second. Samira gets the rebound, gives it to Akshita. Currently Pawan is also on the bench for Sri Lanka Army. Janit is handling the ball, handling duties. Quick drive by Isuru. He managed to keep the ball, gives out to Akshita on the corner. Akshita gives it to Samira for the jumper. And with the shot clock buzzer, he makes the 2-pointer by extending the lead back to 16 points. Shao tries for a 3-pointer this time. He makes 2 3-pointers from the same area yesterday. Isuru finally steals the ball, drives in from left hand, puts up. He missed out the layup. Selaka bringing the ball, gives it to Imad. Imad fakes. There comes the help. Kicks out to Selaka for the open 3-pointer. And he makes it. I personally believe Imad should be more effective on the offensive glass if David Peiris wants to win this game. Janit kicks out to Akshita for the 3-point attempt. He misses out. Imad gets the ball. He should get the layup this time. He misses it. Isuru comes in, drives, kicks out to Samira. Samira gives it to Harshana. Another miss. This time Isuru drives again. I think it will be a traveling call. Yes, it is. We have a few substitutions coming up. Number 28, Upul Jayaratna coming into the game alongside number 5, Pawan Gamage. And on the other end, Centurion takes a seat, while Saditran gives another shot at driving into the basket. And he is effective as soon as he enters the court. These are the skill levels of these players. They are ready to play at any given opportunities that they get. Ball goes to Pawan, fakes in, tries for the mid-ranger. Elbow jumper is not good. Imad's long pass to Saditran. Pawan was well anticipated and managed to steal the ball. Nice pass by Isuru to Samira. Samira puts it up, but it was called a traveling. At the same time, we can see David Peiris is closing in the gap with a 10-2 run in this quarter. And if Shao makes it, that will be 12-2 run. And with the basket, Coach Saranga is taking their first timeout for this quarter. As you mentioned, Mafas, you can see David Peiris is sneaking in and cutting the lead down by 2-pointers, 3-pointers.
Yeah, they have gone on a slight 12-2 run and able to gradually sneak into that lead now. And once again, they are playing to their strengths. We are seeing them now pushing the ball a bit, some pace, and some shots falling from outside, some fouls drawn. So coming back to a rhythm, I guess, right now. And they would want to finish strong this last 3.5 minutes, try to cut down that lead and go into the half with a lot of momentum. As we know, David Peiris is a side which plays with a lot of momentum. And it will definitely help if they can keep this run going on. Meanwhile, Army has been lacking that energy with they started the game. I think once Pawan sits for a few minutes, we see that flow is not there in the game. So I think once again the coach will have to look at his tactics, whether he wants to keep Pawan out for a long time or keep playing him. This is Pramukha, and he ends that mini run from David Peiris.
And David Peiris is playing in the traditional lineup of 1 point guard, 2 guards and 2 bigs. And Shao with the reply on the other end with the easy basket. Pramukha coming into the game after a while sitting on the bench. He drives in from the left hand. And I think that will be an offensive foul, yes. It was called against Pramukha. And the foul was drawn by number 1, Vipushan. We are yet to see Imad getting the buckets that he used to get during this tournament. But that time Sajitran makes another 3-pointer and cuts the lead down to 5 points.
This is Janit weaving inside, cannot finish. Ball will stay with Sri Lanka Army. And meanwhile, Dilka on that offensive foul which Pramukha was called for. Do you think that's a fair call? As we know, end of the day, it's a referee's decision. However, is it extension of the arm, or is it putting out your elbow, trying to block the defender? Is it a 50-50 call, or do you think the offensive player should be allowed to use that elbow? Since he didn't extend it, he just brought it out while he was going for the shot.
Yeah, I think it's the offensive player trying to keep the defensive player away from getting the shot blocked. And I personally believe it should have been called a foul at that point. But the referees have a better angle than the point where we are sitting right now. Here comes a loose ball, a turnover from Janit. A rare turnover, I would say. That was a nice fake by Imad, but he's unable to connect. He's having a pretty tough game. As I mentioned in the beginning of this broadcast, Imad has been exceptional during the preliminary round as well as the semi-final. We are yet to see him getting back into his rhythm in this match. That time the sneaky steal by Janit, but Sajitran takes the ball back. Sri Lanka goes for a 3-pointer. He was not positioned well to attempt that 3-point that time. We have 1 minute remaining in the second quarter. Harshana gets the ball, goes up for a 3-point attempt, misses out. Vipushan gets the ball. That was nice. Pass given to Vipushan, but he missed it that time as well. Here comes Janit driving in. Pass it to Alaka. Alaka will kicks out. The steal was taken by Selaka. He push and bring in the ball into the front court. He will kicks out probably. No, he didn't. The short floater didn't work out this time as well. 7 seconds remaining in this quarter. Another steal by David Peiris' team. 2 seconds remaining. And Sajid then tries to put up the shot. It was blocked at the end by Pramukha. Anyway, David Peiris' team managed to cut down the lead to 36.28 from the lead which we had at 1 point by 15. And as we are entering to the halftime, we will be going into a short commercial break. We will come back with the third quarter actions.
එතර දැලන මූවීස් ඕන තරම් පිටියෙන් ඉවතර එල්ල කරන පහරක් පැහැදිලිව බලාගන්න XG channel රසක් ස්මාර්ට් විදිහට TV බලන්නත් ඕන දෙයක් මග හැරුණත් ආයි බලාගන්න රිවයින්ඩ් කරන ඔප්ෂන් එක සමගින් SLT Mobitel Pure TV the best on demand entertainment
තාත්තගේ වැඩේම මට ගහන එක මට හිතුනේම තාත්තා මට ආදරේ නෑ කියලා.
එහෙනම් මෙච්චරයි කරන්න තියෙන්නේ.
ඔන්න ඒ වැඩේ හරි කියලා හිතුවට තාත්තගේ කතාව ලියුනේ වෙන විදිහකට. අනේ මගේ රත්තරන් තාත්තා. එයාට එදා මොනවා හිතෙන්නේ නැතිද?
අපේ ජීවිතේ පළමුවැනි වීරයාගේ කතාව තාත්තා.
ඔයාව බලාගන්න මං හැන්සම් බොයි කෙනෙක්ව සයින් කරලා තියෙන්නේ.
මට පුළුවන් ද පොඩි උදව්වක් කරන්න? මිනිස්සුන්ට ජීවිතේ වටිනම දේවල් එකම දිගට අහිමි වෙනකොට මිනිස්සු දරා ගන්න පුරුදු වෙනවා.
ඕනවට වැඩිය හැම දෙයක්ම රොමැන්ටිසයිස් කරන එක දැන්වත් නවත්තන්න.
කඩුස්සි.
අනේ මේ අනුත් මට කඩුස්සි කියන්නේ එපා.
කඩුස්සි.
I missed you too. මං ඇත්තටම ආස කරන්නේ මං ආදරය කරන මිනිස්සු ඒගොල්ලෝගේ හීන වලට යනවා දකින්න. ඒක හරි ලස්සන කතාවක්.
මෙහා බලා සිටියා
Pure ස්පෝර්ට්ස් ක්‍රීඩාව වෙනුවෙන්ම.
BOTV සමතතාවක් ලබා ගන්න ඔබට True HD quality එකෙන් අගනා movies එකතුවක් දරුවන් වෙනුවෙන් විශේෂාංග රැසක් පැය 48ක් දක්වා Rewind TV පහසුකම සමගින් හොඳම විදිහට TV බලන්න ඔබත් අදම BOTV සමතතාවක් ලබා ගන්න.
ස්පෝර්ට්ස් ක්‍රීඩාව වෙනුවෙන්ම.
හෙලෝ
අයියා තාම ආවේ නෑනේ. දැන් එන වෙලාවක් තමයි.
මම තාත්තට කිව්වනේ ගන්න කියලා. හරියට ඉන්නේ මම ගන්න බලන්න. ආදරේ ළඟ ඔළුවම බින්දින්න ආසයි.
බෝගහවත්තේ ලකි මං කන්න ආසම කෑම හරක්මස් ආමමං මිනිමස්වල රාබල්ලන
ප්‍රචණ්ඩත්වයේ සැබෑ මුහුණුවර
සුරංගනා කතාවක් කාන්න මටත් ආසයි
ප්‍රචණ්ඩත්වය පිළිබඳ ගවේෂණාත්මක ශබ්දරූප වියමන විසා ගිනි කෙලි දෙක ස්පෝර්ට්ස් ක්‍රීඩාව වෙනුවෙන්ම. සුන්දර පාසැල් අවදියේ සුදුරු මතකයන් දිගේ ඇවිද යන
අන්තර් පාසල් තරගවලින් පදක්කම් කීයක් විතර ගෙනල්ලා තියෙනවද?
මේ එහෙම තරඟවලට ගිහිල්ලා නැහැ වැඩ.
නිමල්ස ඉංග්‍රීසි පාඩමට ලෑස්ති වෙනවා වගේ.
මෙච්චර කල් මේ කිසි දෙයක් දැනගෙන හිටියේ නෑනේ.
දෙමව්පියන් වුණාම තමන්ගේ දරුවන් ගැන මීට වඩා සැලකිල්ලෙන් බලන්න ඕනේ.
අපේ ප්‍රින්සිපල්
යාගේ ගෙදර කවුදෝ මිනිහෙක් හොඳටම බීලා ඔයා ළඟම නිදාගත්තොත් කොහොම තියෙද?
උඹ මට පොරොන්දු වෙන්න ඕන උඹ කවදාත් කසාද බඳින්නේ නැහැ කියලා.
අතෑරම් බා. ඒ win-win situation my tongue by my suffering is
ඔයාගේ අම්මා මැරුණ වෙලාවේ මමත් එයත් එක්ක ගියා නම්
මේ ලෝකේ කවුරුත් කාවෙන්වත් ඉපදෙන්නේ
වෙද මහත්තයා
මොකද
මේ ධර්මපාල මන්ත්‍රීතුමා ඇවිල්ලා ඉන්නවා.
මේ ගම ආරක්ෂා කරන එක මගේ වගකීම.
ගමේ ඉන්න කෙල්ලොත් ලස්සනයි.
ලස්සනම ගැන කියන සුන්දර කවියට ආසමම
මනහරිරුයින් දිලනානාරි
අයියෙන්ම සාදුකාර දෙන්නේ වැඩියම පව් කරන මිනිස්සු.
සුදු ඇඳගත්තු මිනිහෙකුට ගමේ මිනිස්සු රැවටිලා.
හරි සාක්ෂියක් නැතුව උසාවියේදී මිනිස්සෙක් වැරදිකාරයෙක් කරන්න
ඇත්තතු බේලවල් කරනවා කියන්න ඇත්තති බේලවල් කරනවා කියන්න
විසල් මේ අහන්න ඔයා මේ විභාගෙ ලියන්න ඕනේ
පටන්ගමුද කෙමල් අධ්‍යාපනයක් වඩ කෑවයි ඒකටම උඹ වග කියන්න ඕන
ජීවිතය ගනිත සමීකරණයක් තරම් සරල නෑ ඊට වඩා සංකීර්ණයි සිහින සමීකරණයක් තරමටම සංකීර්ණයි
Welcome back with the second half action of the third place match between Sri Lanka Army and David Peiris. Janit comes up short on the three-point attempt. As the match commences, if we look through the statistics of the first quarter, David Peiris' team has 12 turnovers, which is equal to the Sri Lanka Army. And David Peiris also managed to take 29 rebounds compared to Sri Lanka Army's 36. That time it was called as a jump ball situation. The ball goes to David Peiris Sports Club. For David Peiris, Shao made 6 points and Saditran with the 7 points. That time Pawan makes a 3-pointer. For Sri Lanka Army, in the first quarter, Pramukha was their highest scorer with 8 points. And Aksita with 7 points with 1 made 3-pointer. Harshana managed to bag 2 3-pointers with the game high so far. And both teams have equally turned the ball for about 12 times in this game. In terms of individually, the game high is with Imad Hussain. He has 4 turnovers so far in the first half. And that was a nice pass by Sri Lanka Army to their captain, number 77, Aluka. The lead goes back up to 15 points. Imad drives in, gives it back to Shao. Shao with the layup from right hand. He makes it this time. We can see crowd coming in to watch this final day of Sri Lanka Basketball League. That time Pawan squares up for another 3-pointer, misses. Rebound taken by Senturan. Asir missed the ball. That time the deflection by Pawan Gamage. The corner 3 misses. That could have been an accidental basket. Sajidran drives in. Gave the ball back to Senturan. That time it came off of his hands. It's cutting into the right corner of the court. That was a blocking foul again, Asir. And it will be a side ball. because the foul was committed before the shot attempt. Pramuka coming in for Harshana. That was not anticipated by Imad that time. Here Sri Lanka Army an easy two-pointer, extending the lead for 15 points. Shao fakes in, drives, gives up to Asir for his three-point attempt, and he makes it. That's his first three-pointer of this game. Luka turns the ball over on the other end. We want to encourage you to come visit us, enjoy this the final day of Sri Lanka Basketball League. We have plenty of space for you. If you heard the rumor, the tickets are sold out. No, it's not. We are welcoming you to the Sri Lanka Basketball League 2025. This is the final day. And we have the third place match in front of us. The final scheduled at 6 p.m. between Colombo and Colombo Bulls team. This time, Pawan gets the seal and feeds to his brother, Janit. And not only that, Pawan gets another rebound. Attention three-pointer. And he makes it this time. That's his third three-pointer of the game. Coming alive with the two-pointer. Long pass to Janit. The defense has collapsed for David Peiris. Seems after playing 7 games during a short 10-day period, stamina is not their friend as of now. These two teams battled really well against the respective winning teams in the semi-finals yesterday, and Pawan makes another three-pointer. If you remember the game between Sri Lanka Army and Colombo Bulls, where Sri Lanka Army managed to win the match during the group stage. Pawan managed to reach 7 three-pointers out of 17 attempts. And goes a long three-pointer by Centurion. So far, David Peiris is unable to be effective from the field goal percentages. On the first half, their shooting is only 33%. On the other hand, Army managed to put up 42% of their field goals. That has been the major difference between these two teams. I personally think David Peiris should rely on driving into the basket, what's similar to what Vipushan did right now. They should switch up their defense to more of a zone defense or 1-2-2 situation, and rely on driving into the basket on the offensive end. And there goes the timeout for David Peiris' team. The lead is up by 20 points. This is the biggest lead of the game so far. Coach Hayas Harun has some words for his teammates. These images are brought to you by Pure TV and Pure Sports. This tournament was initiation taken by Mercantile Services Basketball Association. The champions of this tournament will be decided the scheduled final at 6 p.m. between Colombo and Colombo Bulls team. Team who wins the championship of Sri Lanka Basketball League will be selected for the Sabah Club Championship, which will be happening from 2nd April to 7th at India. Asir drives into the basket, kicks out to Imad, and that will be another turnover. You can see crowd coming in for this game as well as to be present on the other game. That was almost a no call for traveling. Fortunately, referee, actually crew chief Buddhika Kumudapperuma managed to call it, which I think the right call. Officials for this game will be the crew chief Buddhika Kumudapperuma, umpire 1 Ajit Kumar, and umpire 2 Ravi Dodangoda. Imats gets the wide open three-pointer. He couldn't connect that time. Vepushan takes the rebound and draws the foul. He'll be awarded with 2 free throws. We want to mention that we have enough tickets for you, and we have enough sports space to accommodate as well. So we want to invite you for this game. We have another quarter remaining, and the championship game is scheduled at 6 p.m. today between Colombo BC and Colombo Bulls. Turnover by Sri Lanka Army. Selaka with the three-pointer, well set up, but he misses it. Shao drives in to the chest of number 77, the big man Aloka, and he makes the bucket that time. Still, David Peiris remains with their man-to-man defense. Pramuka gets the ball, step back, pass it to Pawan. Have 6 seconds left in the 24-shot clock. Pawan puts up for a three-pointer. He misses out. The rebound is with David Peiris. Gets the ball that time. The hesitation from Imad's run towards the basket. Came up with a steal, and the other end Pramuka cutting into the basket and makes the two-pointer. Asir. Ball was stolen by Janit that time. Janit will goes up for a three-pointer. They have the comfortable lead to play freely at this moment, because the lead is currently at 19 points. We have 1 minute and 21 seconds remaining in this quarter. Asir drives in. That time the foul was called against Pawan. Free throw rolls in for Asir. Second free throw is a swish. We have a lot of supporters for David Peiris Sports Club. And Imad being effective on the defensive end. Can he make a shot? This time he can. Can see the crowd cheering behind David Peiris' bench. Pramuka bringing the ball in front of Vipushan. He misses. Shah gets the rebound. Gives it to Ashir. Ashir drives in. Puts up from left hand and unfortunately he misses it. There are so many missed shots by David Peiris' team. Late second quarter and this quarter. I think they are gassed up at this moment. But if you want to win this game, you have to give everything that you have. We push and pass it to Imad, and that time Imad unfortunately misses the easy layup. On the other end, Pawan goes for the layup. And calls for a foul. The foul was committed by Selaka. And only one free throw out of two made by Pawan that time. Ball goes to Imad. Imad sees the space in between the players and the pass was deflected that time. Ball goes to Pawan on the other end. The alley hoop pass is not good. Asir gets the ball. Drives in by Vipushan. Misses the shot. There are 4 seconds left in the shot clock. Extra 2.8. Sri Lanka Army has one possession, one shot attempt. And I think ball will go to Aloka, gets the ball. That time the rebound attempt by Aksita is not good as well. With the buzzer, we are coming into the end of third quarter. Sri Lanka Army is leading 60-44 against David Peiris. We will be heading into a short commercial and coming back with last quarter update.
ඇත්තද බේලවල් කරනවා කියන්නේ? ඇත්තද බේලවල් කරනවා කියන්නේ?
විසල් මේ අහන්න. ඔයා මේ විභාගෙ ලියන්න ඕනේ.
පටන් ගමුද? මොල් අධ්‍යාපනයක් වැඩක් නෑවයි. මට ඒකටම උඹ වගේ කියන්න ඕනේ.
ජීවිතය ගණිත සමීකරණයක් තරම් සරල නෑ. ඊට වඩා සංකීර්ණයි. සිහින සමීකරණයක් තරමටම සංකීර්ණයි.
ස්පෝර්ට්ස් ක්‍රීඩාව වෙනුවෙන්ම අත්වැල ගිලිහෙන මල් කැකුළු විෂමාචාරීන්ගේ ගොදුරු බවට පත්වෙන දඩ බිමක
ඒ සම්බන්ධයෙන් මේ විදිහ දෙයක් වෙයි කියලා මං හිතුවේ නෑ.
මට ජීවත් වෙන්න ආසයි තාත්තේ.
ආයි මේවා ළමයිට විකුල්ලා වුණොත් එහෙම මං නරක ගෑණි කියන්නවා.
පිටින් ඇවිල්ලා නටන්න හදන්න එපා මැඩම්.
එතන දැනෙන මූවිස් ඕන තරම්. පිටියෙන් ඉවතර එල්ල කරන පහරක් පැහැදිලිව බලා ගන්න HD channel රසක් ස්මාර්ට් විදිහට.
Welcome back everyone. We are into the final 10 minutes of the third place playoff match between Sri Lanka Army and David Peiris team. Sri Lanka Army currently comfortably sitting with a 16-point lead of this game. As usual, Pawan Gamage has been exceptional in this game. And Janit Gamage goes against Imad. Janit passes to Aloka. Got rejected by Vipushan. Kicks out for the three-pointer. That time Shao gets the rebound. Imad gets the ball on the other end. He has 4 defensive players in front of him. He drives in, puts up the floater. No players to rebound. Upul brings up the ball to the front court. Gives it to Janit. Janit tries to hand it over to Pawan with a nice pass to Aloka. He reads the plays, he reads the situation, and more often he makes the correct play on the offensive end. He's a player who represented the national team, and he managed to carry this team out for the runner-up position during the last senior national championship, and they were semi-finalists during the Avon Cup, which was held during 2022. They had these similar circumstances in Avon Cup as well. They lost to the Colombo Bulls team during the semi-final stage. Pawan gets the ball back. Selaka is the primary defensive player. Aloka drives in, kicks out to Akshita on the corner for the 2-point, and he makes it. Vipushan was paying more attention to the drive by Aloka that time. Unfortunately, he missed out his primary defensive player. Senthuran is unable to connect in fourth quarter as well. He's a great shooter, but today might not be his day. Actually, the wrong three-pointer. Pool gets the ball, the mid-range jumper. It rims out. That time, the steal by Akshita gives it to Cutting Upul. And he draws the foul from Selaka. The rotation for David Peiris in this tournament has been only 7 players. Shao gets the ball on top of the key and goes up for a three-pointer. That's his first three-pointer of the match. Coach Hayas Harun is asking their players to start the defensive positions from the half court. Quick pass to Aloka on the down low. Ball goes back to Akshita. The two-man play between Akshita and Aloka didn't work out. Sajidan goes in. Ball was stripped by Janit that time. Lead remains at 15 points. Long pass Senthuran, that was stolen by Pawan. And makes the easy layup. Selaka bringing the ball into the front court. Passes to Vipushan. Drives in. That was way over Senthuran's head into the crowd. far we have a low scoring quarter for David Peiris. They had to be effective. Pass goes to Epushan. Epushan goes up, draws the foul, but unable to hit the basket again. As Upul steps into the bench, we have Tarindu Dasanka, number 8 for Sri Lanka Army. Epushan makes the second free throw. Full court press by David Peiris. That time it was effective. Asir gets the ball, one-on-one situation. No one at the rim. He gives it back. Fortunately retains the ball. That time Shao gets the ball, puts up the 2-point, and it's good. Another full court press. This time Pawan bringing the ball into the front court, coast to court, pass it to Akshita. Misses the shot. Asir bringing the ball up, pass it to Senturan to Vipushan. The foul was called. On number 23, Akshita. That's his 4th personal foul. You can see there is enough space in the middle that Asir can drive in, but he managed to give a nice pass to Shao. He puts up from his left hand, and that is good. The lead is currently 11 points, ladies and gentlemen. Pawan driving in again, slowing down the game because they have only 5 minutes and 36 seconds. And that time Janit kicks out to Akshita. The rebound goes to Sri Lanka Army. They need to rebound these positions. Aloka tries to keep the ball in Sri Lanka Army's end. I think Wafas, this will be the final push by the David Peiris team. They are playing in their rhythm right now. And just like that, we have a one-digit game with 5 minutes and 14 seconds remaining. We mentioned this earlier. David Peiris team is not going away. They are here to win this match. And definitely boys in the blue feeling the pressure. That time it was a close 8-second call. Johnny drives in, gives out to Tarindu. He didn't shoot. Heave by Janit. Hit the backboard. It was Saditran. Saditran almost lost the ball, managed to keep it. And Senturan drives in for the easy layup. He draws the foul from Maloka. The timeout was called by Sri Lanka Army, their coach Taranga. And with that foul, Sri Lanka Army is at their limit on the fouls for this quarter. We have an exciting game. I think, Mafas, this is where Coach Hayas was keeping Vipushan and trying to get the most out of him in the fourth quarter. And these two guards, Imad and Saditran, played really well. And Asi took over from Imad, and he's continued to do the best for his team.
Yeah, this has been a great push once again from David Peiris. We have seen them doing this in all of their games. When they were down big, they always were able to fight back. But right now what is important is to keep this momentum. They should not lose this, because if Army scores after the timeout, Yeah, but it's free throws now for David Peiris. However, if Army scores after the timeout, they shouldn't be discouraged. They should keep that push coming because this is the last chance, as you said. 4 minutes and 37 seconds on the clock. This is definitely their last chance for the push. So they need to keep this momentum going.
Yes, Mafas. And with their playing style of this quarter, their drives in, kicks out to the open mans in the painted area. This has been effective and they can continue to do that because the Sri Lanka Army team already over their foul limit for the quarter. We always say the first bucket after timeout is the crucial turning point. That time Asir strips the ball out from Janit. So both Janit and Pawan, what they are doing is they are trying to bring the ball by themselves into the front court. Pawan gets the ball. Sajitran is in front of him. This time pass it to Janit. Kicks out to Pramukha. He misses it. Samir, a big man, with the rebound. And that was a nice basketball move by Pawan. His game sense has been excellent throughout this tournament. Asir driving in. Kicks out to Shao. Shao kicks out to Sajitran. Sajitran against the big man Samira. Missed out. Rebound is Sajitran still. He puts up that time. He adjusted in the mid-air and makes a two-pointer. This will be costly for David Peiris' team. They were not looking after the open man, Pawan Gamage. Surprising to see that they missed out Sri Lanka Army's best scoring player. That was a hard foul committed by Vibhushan. We have an 8-point game with 3 minutes and 46 seconds remaining. Pawan makes both free throws, which exactly what Sri Lanka Army team requires from him right now. Keep the scoring continuous because this team is coming to win this game. David Peiris is trying their best. They are giving everything that they have. The ball was almost stolen by Asir. And Asir gets a rest for a few minutes while Imad takes over. That time Shao committed a foul against Janit Gamage. Pawan is looking for the ball. Because there will be no safe hands than his. That time Pramukha drives in. Kicks out to Janit. Janit for the three-point attempt. He was not effective from the three-point line this game. Pramukha with the two-point jumper. Misses out. Samira with a great rebound but couldn't make it. Imad drives in, stops for a three-pointer. And he makes it. Ladies and gentlemen, we have 6-point game in between us. The pressure coming from the David Peiris defense. They should remain calm without making any mistakes. Pawan with the heave. This is out. Rebound by Samira. Pawan gets the ball back. Sajitran falls over. I think the two-pointer is no good. Samira gets another rebound. These are valuable possessions. And David Peiris is keep forgetting the Pawan on the offensive play. Fourth offensive rebound for Sri Lanka Army. This time Janit drives in, gives up to Pawan. That was a wonderful attempt by the two brothers. But unfortunately they couldn't connect. We have 2 minutes and 13 seconds remaining in this squad, ladies and gentlemen. And it's a 6-point game. Imad drives in, kicks out to Senthuran. Senturan gives the ball back to Vipushan. Vipushan turn around three-pointer. He was not in a good position to attempt that three-pointer. On the first position, Imad should have dived into the basket. That time, Shao committed another foul on the floor. That'll be 2 shots. So, David Peiris has committed 4 fouls for this quarter. That's their limit. So, whatever the fouls coming after this will be 2 free throws. That was a loose ball by Sri Lanka Army team. 1 minute and 41 seconds remaining. Their drives in hard. Imad can make this bucket and makes it a 5-point game. Sorry, 4-point game, ladies and gentlemen, and he does that. He exactly do the same. Can see Imad coming alive in this fourth quarter, what they needed the most, but Pramukha managed to stop the bleeding. That was costly bucket. Vipushan couldn't hold the ball that time. Janit with the steal. Slowing down the game, burning some clock because we have almost 1 minute remaining in this game. Pass given back to Pramukha. And timeout goes to David Peiris Sports Club. Mamas, I think this timeout was not necessary for David Peiris because they were on the defensive end. This will give enough time for Sri Lanka Army to set and make a play for a 2-pointer.
Yeah, I mean, that's a tactical error from Coach Hayaz. Maybe he had other thoughts which we don't know. However, as you said, should have taken that timeout on the offensive end. But with a poor defense, that last possession which we saw from Vipushan was really poor defense on him. He let the offensive player, I think it was Pramukha who drove all the way, and then he committed a turnover on the other end because the lead was cut down to 4 and they had the chance to get a stop there and push Army even further. However, now Army in control with 1 minute left.
Yes, I agree with that, Mafaz. We have 14 seconds in the shot clock. Ball goes to Janit, stolen by Imad. That was good dissipated play. He should drive in, at least try to draw the foul, but he makes the shot. He didn't settle for a jump or anything. He makes the 2-pointer. This is a 4-point game again. Samira drives in, kicks back to Samira. That time Pramukha gets the ball, try to drive in and kicks out to Harshana, but Harshana couldn't handle the ball. We have 47 seconds remaining in this quarter with 4-point lead by Sri Lanka Army. 3-point attempt by Pramukha. Missed it. Shot taken by Vipushan. And here goes the fast Sajitran. That was a hard foul by Pramukha on Sajitran. That will be his 3rd personal. Timeout taken by Sri Lanka Army. I think David Peiris got a lifeline there. With Sri Lanka Army taking the timeout, they get the offensive position as well. They can settle down, make a play with this 4-point game.
The last timeout, though, came up well for David Peiris. I think he wanted to give his players a breather because none of them were looking energetic enough to move around. But after that timeout, they were able to get the steal and Imad to score. And now Praneeth, I think, rather it's Tharanga. Yeah, the Tharanga, the coach of Sri Lanka Army. I think he wanted the timeout to check, to have a small discussion, maybe perhaps after the free throws, what would their strategy be?
Yeah, that could very well be the game plan for both coaches. We have 37 seconds remaining in this game. Sajidran with the opportunity to cut down the lead to 2 points. He misses the first free throw. These are pressure situations. The Stars are born in these kind of situations. He puts up the second free throw and he misses. Shao gets the valuable rebound. Passes to Sajidran for 3-pointer. He pushed and battling hard for the rebound, but he couldn't make it. Janith bringing the ball in front. Foul was committed by number 1, Vipushan, and that will be 2 free throw attempts as both teams are over the foul limit. We have 27 seconds remaining. On the other end, Janith with the opportunity to make it a 6-point game. He makes the first free throw. Misses the second one. Vipushan gets the rebound. Pass it to Sajidran. Imad on the open floor with one defensive player. Another foul by Pramukha. The time Imad draws the foul. He goes into the line. Another timeout taken by Coach Hayas. Currently, it's a 2-position game with 5 points lead by Sri Lanka Army.
Yes, with 19 seconds left, I think it's now that we have to expect David Peiris. They make the free throws and then play the fouling game from there, unless Sri Lanka Army just needs to hold on to the ball without doing anything unnecessary.
Yes, Mavas, both coaches are heavily involved with their team members. Their players giving the instructions what needs to be done in this last 19 seconds. There's only 5 points in between deciding who will be crowned as the second runner-up of Sri Lanka Basketball League 2025. We have Samira, Harshana, Pawan, Janith and Pramukha on the floor for Sri Lanka Army. On the other end, Senturan, Vipushan, Imad, Shao and Sajidran for David Peiris Sports Club. Imad makes the first free throw. Rebound came off of the screen and the shot was made by Vipushan. Cutting the lead down to 2 points. We have 15 seconds remaining. Sri Lanka Army holds the position. It's a 2-point game all of a sudden, ladies and gentlemen. You have any thoughts, Mafas, on the last position?
Yeah, the second rebound. Sri Lanka Army not able to gather the rebound, and then the ball goes back to David Peiris, and they are able to make it a 3-point play. Lead cut down to 2, and now they'll definitely push for a steal here. Sri Lanka Army with the timeout will look to advance the ball on the front. And without fouling, I think the strategy would be to go for a steal. And if they don't, then it's time to play the fouling game. So both teams in their final huddle perhaps in this game, unless we see something drastic and go to overtime. But the main task here for David Peiris would be to apply pressure on that first pass, the out of bounds, look for a steal or look for a 5-second call, and if they don't, then immediately they need to go for a foul to try and stop the clock. So let's see what the strategy is. Army opting to take the ball in the front and on the bench side. Straight away Pawan with the ball, and immediately we see Sajintaram fouls Pawan, but he's their best shooter and he needs to make at least one of these shots. He does. So David Peiris now will need at least a 3-pointer, and this is to make it a 2-position game now by Pawan. He's able to. So David Peiris needs to go fast now. They do. Too much time taken. This is Imad from out. Comes up short. Army will hold on to this ball, and that would do it. Sri Lanka Army with a hard-fought win over the Fighting David Peiris Ball Club, 75-71. What a thrilling game it has been. Great action-packed basketball for the fans who was witnessing the game right here. But Sri Lanka Army will end up the bronze medalist in this Sri Lanka Basketball League. What do you think about the game, Dilka?
Yeah, it was an exciting encounter between these two. We anticipated that this game will go to the last seconds and last buzzer, and just like that, Sri Lanka Army managed to take the win over David Peiris Sports Club. I think we should appreciate David Peiris players. They fought really hard during this tournament. This is their first tournament coming in for the club league, and we want to thank them for participating in this tournament, and they have played really well. We appreciate their efforts and showing up in the third place game of Sri Lanka Basketball League. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, we'll be leaving you out for a while. We'll be coming back with the finals of Sri Lanka Basketball League, the game between Colombo Bulls and Colombo Basketball Club. We'll meet you at 6 p.m. today.